Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Dragunity deck profile. So this is a deck that's super fun, that can play all sorts of different dragon stuff in the deck. It's super cool to be able to play around with the Dragunity Knights, like in the old days, when it even got its structure deck, and when we used to play Vatriana. Vatriana is such a cool card. So without further ado, guys, let's get straight into this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell on there so you can become part of the notification squad, and let's get straight on into this. So this is a deck that kind of plays around with dragons and wing beasts, and with Tempest, Dragon Ruler of Storms being off the ban list at 1, this deck is super interesting. So first off, we're going to be playing one copy of Dragunity Arma Leviathan, or Leviathan, I just call him Leviathan, but it's a super good card that's basically a level 8 monster that can be special summoned from your hand by removing from play one face-up monster you control equipped with a Dragunity card. And then when this card is normal or special summon, you can select a dragon-type monster in your graveyard, except another copy of itself, and then equip it to that monster. And when this card is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can select one of the monsters that were equipped to this card when this card is sent to the graveyard and special summon it, which is really good to be able to revive itself, so it replaces itself if it's destroyed. Then we play 3 copies of Mistletoe. Mistletoe is basically, you can special summon it from your hand by sending a face-up Dragunity monster you control to the graveyard, which is good. And then when this card is normal or special summoned, you can select a Dragunity dragon monster, or a dragon-type Dragunity monster in your graveyard and equip it to this card, which is really easy to go into your level 8 synchro monsters with your copies of stuff like Koos and Phalanx, to be able to go into synchro plays. So this card is really, really, really good for the deck. I play 3 copies of Cintus. Cintus is one of the best cards in the deck. It kind of replaced the other one, the Vanguard one, I think it was called. You can discard a Dragunity card to equip a Dragunity tuner monster from your deck to this card. Also, you cannot special summon a monster from the extra deck except for dragon-type monsters, which is not a big deal, because I think all we play is dragon-type monsters in the extra deck anyways. And then once per turn, if a Dragunity card you control will be destroyed by battle, or by card effect, you can destroy a Dragunity card equipped to this card instead. So it protects your Dragunity cards from being destroyed with this card, which is really good. I play 3 copies of Dux. Dux is the old school one that we want to play. Gains tuner attack for each Dragunity card you control, and then when this card is normal summoned, you can target a Dragunity level 3 or lower monster in your graveyard and equip it to this card, which is really good because a lot of them special summon themselves after they've been equipped, which can get us into some synchro plays. And it's a good starter card to go into stuff like Vatriana and Gatorg and stuff like that. So for the tuners, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Koos. Koos is really good. Basically what it does is it cannot be used as for synchro material except for the synchro summon of a Dragunity monster. And this card on the field can be treated as a level 4 monster when used for the synchro summon of If this card is currently equipped to a Dragunity monster, you can special summon this equipped card, and it's not once per turn, which is absolutely crazy that it's not once per turn. So you can special summon it as many times as it's equipped, which can really help out to go into your guard dragon plays and stuff like that, and go into Ascalon and stuff like that if you equip it with Mistletoe, which is usually what I'm going to go for, is the Ascalon for the first, play. Because Ascalon is such a good card to be able to go into that you really want to summon it. 3 copies of Phalanx. Phalanx is really good in the deck too because it's a level 2 tuner that once per turn when it's equipped to a monster, you can special summon it. It is a once per turn, so it's not quite as good as Koos. And it can't be used as a level 4, but it's your old school Dragunity tuner monster. You use this card to go into stuff like Vatriana, Barcha, Gatorg, even go into stuff like Crystal Wing, Borreload Savage, stuff like that. You want to make this card really easily, and it lets you go into stuff that you really need to, but it doesn't say once per turn for this card's name. So it's every time it's equipped to a monster once per turn. So you can use it multiple times. So it's really, really a good card. Then we play 3 copies of Destrudo. Destrudo is basically here just to use as link material. You never really synchro summon with it because basically you're just going to use it to go into guard dragon plays and link plays and stuff like that. But it's a really good card to have. 1 copy of Tempest. Tempest is super easy to summon in this deck over and over and over again. And it's really easy to use to go into stuff like Romulus and stuff like that. It's a really good card to have in the deck for link material. 1 copy of Zaphros the Elite, because Zaphros the Elite reoccurs itself, and you can return one of your monsters that's equipped to a Dragunity monster to special summon this card, or just a face-up card in general, which we have a bunch of cards that you can return, like Ravine, and cards like Dragunity Divine Lance, and different cards like that that can just reoccur back onto the field that you can special summon Zapdos, return them to the hand, take 400, and use it as material. I play one copy of Garuda the Wind Spirit as well, because everything's wind just about. So you can banish something and then special summon this card. Red MD, because Red MD is good in this deck. I hope it doesn't get hit, but if it does, you know, we'll play around with it. One copy of Goliath. Goliath is really good in the deck because you just special summon this at the end of a combo, and then after you do, your opponent can't special summon stuff. So it's really good, because they can't special summon from the extra deck except for Amorphage monsters, and we don't play Amorphages except for this, and so it just kind of shuts down our opponent. I play one copy of Supreme King Dragon Darkworm. Darkworm is sent to the graveyard off of Ravine and just instantly special summons itself back, so it's a good one-of in the deck. And for the last 3 monsters we play is 3 copies of Ash Blossom, because we do not want to get... We want to stop our opponent from doing shenanigans, but we want to go through with ours. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. This deck is so much fun to play around with. I cannot emphasize that enough. If you like dragons, play this deck. So then for the spells, we're going to be playing one copy of Foolish Burial, just to send stuff to the graveyard that we need to the graveyard, like our copy of Tempest to get it live, and stuff like, if we don't have Ravine, we can send our copy of Darkworm, and this is a good starter card. One copy of Terraforming to get our Ravine, because we need Ravine as quickly as possible. 2 copies of Dragunity Divine Lance. Divine Lance equips to a Dragunity monster and it gains attack equal times its level times 100, and also it's unaffected by the effect of traps. But that's not the really good effect. The really good effect is during your main phase, you can equip one Dragon-type Dragunity tuner monster from your deck to a monster equipped with this card, which is really good to be able to equip additional dragons onto other monsters. 2 copies of Cards of Consonance, because we play 6 targets for it. Really, actually, you play 9 targets for it, because you play your Destrudos, Phalanxes, and your Koos. So you can just get into other stuff to go into your draws. 3 copies of Dragon's Ravine. Dragon's Ravine is basically, once per turn during your main phase, you can discard a card to add a dragon, or add a level 4 or lower Dragunity monster from your deck to your hand, or send a Dragon-type monster from your deck to the graveyard, which is super beneficial to the deck. And then 3 copies of Called by the Grave, because Called by the Grave is just so good in the deck. We do not want to get our cards hit. Like, the Guard Dragon combo is really fragile in this deck, so you don't want to get hit. And it can be really, really, really fragile if you do get hit. So this card is extremely beneficial, and you have to have it in the deck, and you just can't play the deck without Call by the Grave. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, another notable thing before we get into the extra deck is I really thought about playing Blackwing Steam in the deck, because a lot of your monsters can use, like Romulus just says a 2 dragons and or wing beasts, but I dropped it because I wanted to focus more on guard dragons. So that's another option for you guys if you want to go for a different card in the deck. So I play double Vatriana. I love Vatriana. You probably only need 1, but I love Vatriana, so I played it 2. Its effect is that when it's synchro summoned, you get to target a level 3 or lower Dragon-type Dragunity monster in your grave and equip it to this card, and then once per turn you can send an equip card that's equipped to this card to the grave to double this card's attack to 3,800, which is humongous for a starter level 6 monster. It's really good to have as a, 2 of, but you can drop 1 out for the other card that I'm going to show you, and that is 1 copy of Barcha. You can play 2 copies of Barcha and 1 copy of Vatriana. That is entirely up to you. I only have 1 Barcha, so I play double Vatriana, 1 Barcha. But Barcha is really good because when it's synchro summoned, you can select any number of Dragon-type Dragunity monsters in your grave and equip them to this card, and then it gains 300 attack for each one. But basically what you're going to do with this is Koos and Phalanx can be equipped to this card, and then special summon them out to swarm the field. It's kind of like Soul Charge. So Barcha is a good card that you could play at 2, but I only ever find myself resolving 1. So I only play 1. Ascalon is kind of like the boss monster of the deck. It takes a Dragunity monster and a non-tuner Dragunity monster. You can banish a Dragunity card in your graveyard to target a card your opponent controls and banish it. And in this Synchro Summon card its owner's controls destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon a Dragunity Synchro monster with 3,000 or less attack from your extra deck. So it instantly special summons out something like Gator or your copy of Vatriana or something that you need out of the extra deck. So it replaces itself. And it's a 3,300 beat stick. Which is humongous. And it counts as a synchro summon as well when it's special summoned, so it counts as properly summoning it. One copy of Gator. Gator is basically here because once per turn you can add a level 4 or lower wind or wing beast type monster from your deck to your hand, then discard a dragon or wing beast. So you can add stuff to your hand like a Zaphros the Elite or Tempest, or I mean not Tempest because it's not level 4, but Phalanx or Koos or, you know, Zaphros or anything like that, and then just discard it to the graveyard to be able to make them live in the grave. One copy of Crystal Wing because you need to summon Crystal Wing as quickly as possible in this deck because it's the big negation. Borload Savage because it's the big beat stick of the deck. I mean, you need it. One copy of Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss is really, really good in the deck because you can special summon it off your copies of your Guard Dragons. Now, if the Guard Dragons get hit, I will do a note at the bottom of the video of what to drop for it. The main deck will probably not change at all, except maybe the Destrudos, which you could play more hand traps if you wanted to. But the only thing that'll change is maybe the Guard Dragons. Soryuja is definitely a one-of in the deck because you need Soryuja to draw cards. Romulus is really good because it searches your Ravine. One copy of Heraldic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres. This card's really good to end with. And then I play one each of the Guard Dragons. I hope they don't get hit, but I feel like they are. I feel like probably Agarpane's going to be the one to get hit because these are fragile, but Agarpane is not. And then one copy of Hope Harboring Dragon Titanic Galaxy. It's really easy to make this card with a Leviathan and something like Barcha. It's really easy to make this and just negate spells. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. It's super fun to play around with. The only thing that I might change is bumping Romulus up to 2 and then maybe jumping Barcha up to 2, but I only ever find myself resolving one Barcha and then I win if I even resolve it. But anyways, this is Dark Armed Duelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think of this video down in the comments down below. Hit that bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.